Hello, welcome back to my channel. If you are new here, welcome. My name is Eva. In today's video, we are going to be reviewing, swatching, and comparing the brand new Urban Decay Moondust palette for winter 2025. If you aren't familiar or you're not aware, Urban Decay launched their newest of their Moondust Quads. Now, the Moondust formula is a beloved, shimmery, sparkly, glittery formula from Urban Decay that has been out for many, many years. I want to say more than a decade. But somewhat recently, over the past 2 or 3 years, they've started releasing limited edition Moondust palettes. I actually own all those palettes as well as some of the single shades. So what we're going to do is we are going to specifically review this newest quad, and then we are going to do comparisons to the previous palettes and existing shades. That way, if you own any of those, you can decide if the new quad is a must-have. So if you're interested, go ahead and keep on watching. If you're not already subscribed, please subscribe and please follow me on Instagram. Both of those things really help out small creators like myself. Let's quickly talk about this launch. So this palette retails for $39 and it does contain 4 limited edition Moondust shades. I hope this lighting is still allowing you to see the shades. I did also film some of the swatches in natural light that I will also include, but here we have the 4 shades in the new quad. So going from my wrist down, we have Cosmic Quartz, and this is a pretty sparkly like white shade. And then we have Solar Drip, and Solar Drip I would describe as like a clear base with some pinky kind of yellowy flecks. Then we have Starry Haze, which is a very pretty lavender. And then last but not least, we have Rock Solid. And Rock Solid I would describe as like a purpley pink with a lot of pink and lavender kind of micro shimmers, but I would also say that the base of this one is kind of a little bit like maroony and red. This one is really, really interesting. So here we have the shades, and let me go ahead and insert the swatches from natural sunlight because I think you'll be able to see the shades a little bit better. Now let's go ahead and get these on the eyes. I am going to just put 1 shade per lid. That way we can compare them that way. And you can see what they look like all over the lid. However, I will say for this type of formula, I think these look great on their own, but they look especially great as toppers. If you wanted to do like a cream shadow on underneath or any sort of matte shadow, these top beautifully. I'm going to zoom you in for these eye swatches. Okay, on this side, we're gonna go in with Cosmic Quartz, and I'm just applying these with my finger. I did not apply a primer because I'm gonna be removing these so quickly after for the rest of the swatches. That also just shows you what a punch these can pack, considering my eyelids are not primed. These are a little bit messy, so I always recommend doing your concealer after you have applied them. Okay, so here we have Cosmic Quartz. Now let's go in to the other eye with Solar Drip, and this is the other like white one that has really pretty kind of like pink micro shimmers and glitters. This one is very pretty. Okay, here we are. Hopefully this head movement will pick up some of the subtle differences between the shades. I honestly think that these can totally be worn alone. I don't think they have to be worn with another shade underneath. They're a very beautiful, fun, sparkly shadow. I will say this first one, Cosmic Quartz, was a little bit flakier and less smooth than the other shades, so there was a little bit more fallout here. Of the 2 of them, I prefer the Solar Drip one because I think it is more unique with those like yellowy pinky micro glitters. Now let's go in with the 2 purple shades. Okay, we have removed the clear shades to the best of our abilities, still some fallout. Now let's go in with these purpley ones. Let's start off with the Starry Haze shade, which is the lavender one. Ooh, look at that. She is pigmented. So Lavender Haze has like a sheer lavender, excuse me, not Lavender Haze. That's what I keep wanting to call it. Starry Haze has a sheer lavender base, and then the glitter flecks are silver. Oh my gosh, so pretty. Now let's go in with Rock Solid. Okay, and here we have Rock Solid. Definitely the like pinkier of the 2 purples. Let me zoom you in even a little bit. And here we have the 2 purpley shades on the lid. I like both of them, but my favorite of the 2 is definitely Rock Solid because of that like pinkier base to it. I just think it's a little bit more unique. So those are the 4 shades in the quad. Now let's do comparisons and look at some of the previous year's palettes. Okay, here we have my Moondust Shadow collection. Unfortunately, one of my favorite shades took a casualty. It completely flew out when I opened this, so that's a bummer. So I have the limited edition palette with the exception of that coveted like blue one that never released in the US. Let's go ahead and talk comparisons. So let's talk comparisons. So, I mean, looking at the Moondust Quads, obviously you can see there is no overlap between last year's and this year's. We have warm tone versus cool tone. But going through some of the shades in my existing collection, there are quite a few like shimmery white shades. We have Cosmic Cowgirl from this palette. And then we also have Star Cowgirl from this palette here. And then and then we have Space Cowboy. So I think it makes sense for us to swatch those. So let's start off by swatching this one. So I'm trying to do this in natural light, but of course the sun is starting to go down as I'm filming this. So hopefully we're still able to capture some of those shades. Okay. Okay, so here are the 2 from the new quad. Now let's go in with good ol' Space Cowboy. And this one is going to be, I think, taupier than what we have here. Yeah, I mean, honestly, no comparison. Oh, you know why? That is because I swatched Lithium. I'm sorry, you guys. This is Space Cowboy. I was like, I don't remember Space Cowboy being that dark. And it's because it isn't. Okay, so now we're going in with Space Cowboy. I mean, still different. Doesn't have that clear base. Okay, now let's go in to Cosmic Cowgirl. And I'm going to swatch it closer to these ones. I mean, you know, similar in the sense that they are like a sheer base and shimmery, but this one is more cool toned and has more silver flecks. And then let's also go in to Star Cowgirl. So I would say that Star Cowgirl is very similar, or rather the most similar to this one here in the new quad. They're still not identical, but very, very similar. So this one and this one. Okay, now I want to do some comparisons of this shade here to some of the other like pinky purpley shades. I don't have anything similar in my Moondust collection, but I still thought it might be helpful. So let's go ahead and swatch this one. And I do apologize. The sun is being super crazy today. It's going in and out like within minutes. Okay, so here we have that shade. For swatches, again, I don't have anything exact, but I thought it might be helpful if I swatch Cowgirl Warrior. And that is from this Moondust palette. Oh, that is actually quite similar. I'm glad I swatched that one. I would say the base is a little stronger in the one from this palette, but they're really, really similar. And it's also, I would say, a little bit like pinkier. Okay, now let's go into this Moondust palette and grab Wild Dipper Rides Again. Similar, but this one is orangier. And then, you know, for the heck of it, let's go ahead and swatch this one here from the Moondust Quad from last year. Okay, that one is actually quite similar to the one in this Moondust Quad. And just because I have it right here, let's go ahead and swatch Solstice. So the only ones that are similar are going to be, so the only one that I would say is similar is this shade Cowgirl Warrior from this Moondust palette. The other ones are quite different from this shade in the quad. And again, the shade that we were just swatching is this one right here, which is called Rock Solid. I hope those comparisons were helpful. Overall, I really like this palette. Yes, there were some similar shades, but very happy that all of these are completely new, non-repeat shades. So very happy that I picked this one up. If this video was helpful, especially if my comparisons were helpful, would love if you consider subscribing, following me on Instagram, and if you decide to pick this up, would love if you consider shopping through my affiliate link down below. If there are any other comparisons that you want me to swatch in my collection, let me know in the comments and I will post that on the community tab here on YouTube and tag you.